Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. So this is the live 15-minute Q&A about EXP. Any question is certainly not off limits. I am just an agent with EXP, so I'm going to do my best to be completely honest. Today, what I've done is note down 6 emails and messages as well I've received in terms of specific questions. I just wrote them down before. They're here on the corner. If you're not able to make this call live, feel free to email me, barrypaul@nc@gmail.com. Shoot me a message, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, any of that crap. Any of that fun stuff as well. So question number 1, bear in mind these are anonymous questions, and that's obviously the way I'm going to keep it here. It's anonymous. It is, if you're here live on the call, you can come in and ask questions, but in terms of these recordings I'm going to put out to social media and on my YouTube channel, as the blazing sun has just come out. Goodness me, no complaints, but it's very hot. They're always going to be anonymous. Any questions you ask, you can ask privately. I'll probably answer them publicly, but no one will ever know where they came from. Question number 1. Why become self-employed and lose £25,000 basic? Probably the best answer is you probably shouldn't. Self-employment as opposed to employment in the UK in specific, which where this question came from, is very different. If you are comfortable with earning £25,000 and maybe an extra £10,000, £15,000 in commissions, why would you become self-employed? Why would you remove that ease and that comfort? Me and my family, I would not be doing this industry and wouldn't even get out of bed for £25,000 this morning. And it's not even about the money, but for me, it's just the limitations. And it really comes to a mindset, to be honest. EXP is a self-employment, EXP UK is a self-employment option, very, very different from any other. So, as I sit here in America, I started my career with the largest real estate training company in the world with Keller Williams. So I've been there, done that. When I personally reached the limit of the ceiling of what was imposed, I had to look at other options, and now I'm 2 years in, amazingly, at EXP. But yes, if that £25,000 basic is a necessity for you, you probably shouldn't back yourself for self-employment. It is something where it is a mentality, and I know it's new to many of us Brits, but you have to back yourself. If you are, let's say, one of the top 3 agents in your postcode, in your market, absolutely you are going to knock this out of the park. If you have aspirations of that and you're not quite there, I would say as long as you have that mentality and that goal, absolutely. It is a sort of thing where if money is important to you, you have to pay your bills. So self-employment is a very difficult thing to start cold, which is what you have to do typically in the UK. At the same time, if you can have a little bit of saving, just do an analysis of your needs and of your expenses and your bills. Look at what you have. If you can have a 6-month buffer of savings and you want your own name above the door, you've always wanted your own agency, but you realize as I'm working from my garden, which is my office now, I do have a physical office too, but nobody goes in there. It's a waste of money. That those spaces on the high street are not going to be the same in 2021, 22 and going forward. You always wanted your own name above the door. You wanted access to the big portals. You wanted it to be you, because when you walk into somebody's house, it's really not even EXP. It's me. It's Barry Bulver that they're wanting to meet. Not even my branding, not the company. It's me. So if you want that for yourself, and you can budget and plan for 4, 5, 6 months of savings, then this is a model that you need to strongly look at. And I would highly recommend you speak to me, speak to Adam Day or any EXP UK team member. If that £25,000 is going to be the difference between you jumping off the ledge or not, it's probably not for you. Stay on that. Self-employment route, EXP is an opportunity of legacy and of change and difference for you, and generational wealth for your family, and it's time freedom, money freedom, all of this stuff. If you don't have that and it's not of interest, don't. Stay where you are. It's probably going to be the better option for about 80% of you, to be completely honest. Question number 2, how much are you getting paid? I am getting paid absolutely nothing by EXP. I could share with you how much I'm getting paid from my sales and how much I'm getting paid from my revenue share. We can speak about that privately if you like. Question number 3, it's getting hotter. No, it's only me, it's getting a lot hotter. How do you generate leads? It's the EXP. I guess there's twofold. So we here in the US have a lead generation machine. It is something where you don't have to throw any money at it, and it can and will generate your leads if you follow the system. It has from me, so I speak from personal experience. We have very similar in the UK as well, and we have very similar in Australia as well. We have tools, technology, which is going to get you business, or it's going to get you leads, and then it's going to be up to you to generate that into business. And I'm going to speak very openly and transparently about that. We have the tools, we have the technology. But the one thing I think many of us, certainly when I was a newer agent before the previous two companies I worked at, I relied so heavily personally on my umbrella brand and my umbrella company. And that was just a false fallacy and a complete waste of time, to be honest, because you can outgrow that when you understand the importance of personal branding. And you can look at the likes of Ben Moore in the UK, the one with the beard, just to understand how important personal branding is, and how if you focus on that and yourself and your unique selling proposition and your story and your engagement and your clientele and your sphere of influence and all these other cliche terminologies, you will get more business than you can even handle. So you at eXp have the opportunity, and we have the tools, we have the referral systems and the network to get business. You can also bounce ideas off various partners all around the world as well. And I'm talking about the top in this industry. But put an emphasis specifically on this thing here, specifically on video, specifically on personal branding. And I promise you, as a self-employed agent, anywhere in the world, you will get business. But whatever you do, you have to do it consistently. Number 4, what do you mean virtual in terms of eXp? Well, virtual in the fact that you are always going to have offices, and many of us will have physical offices, but it is a massive expense, which you realistically don't need. We've seen that in the last few months. Many people here in the US and elsewhere obviously have had their offices shut. Here in the US, you're paying office fees for an office you can't use. And then realistically, would I be going back to an office with 150 people in it right now? No, I wouldn't. Would I go to my little offshore office of me in it? Yes, I would. So by virtual, we mean that in a day and age where this is our office, regardless of where you do your business around the world, this is our office. It's also the technology that's more powerful than what sent man and womankind to the moon many years ago. So our office is here. Our office is always mobile. If you disagree, go on holiday and take your phone with you and tell me I'm wrong. Specifically as a self-employed real estate and estate agent. So by virtual, we mean you can get all of your training, 70 plus hours live every single week, all of your support, both on the leadership level, admin level, technological level. If you have an issue with your laptop, you go into our virtual world. It is a virtual world because you can access it on here. You can access it on the laptop I'm recording this from. It means that you don't have to get in the car anymore. You don't even have to put shorts on anymore or a t-shirt. Recommend it just for personal reasons, but you do not have to get any of that support back in the 1990s you needed from your physical office, or even collaboration, although we're heavy on in-person collaboration when the time is right, obviously. Everything is available on our virtual campus from Babella. Check it out. I can also get you a guest pass, which we have free for any agent around the world through to the end of this month, June 2020, just to get people back in the game. Many offices in many states and many parts of the world have still not reopened. This gives you the opportunity to see what the future is of this industry. You move your little silly avatar around and you may think it is silly. The reason I use it, because it is. But now it's changed my business. The 20 minutes I would previously go to my office and wait 15 minutes for my broker in charge to be available to answer my question, I get that instantaneously by logging on to the virtual world. Also, we have Workplace by Facebook. It is effectively Facebook, but created for business. Looks the same, feels the same. You can call anybody in the company through the messenger, much like you can on Facebook Messenger, and shoot the messages and get answers instantaneously. So when I say virtual, I mean virtual. When was the days when now I've got a 3-year-old, if I was still buying diapers, I would be driving to Toys R Us 3 years ago. Realistically, 10, 15 years ago, I have to go somewhere. Now, I'm in a market, I go on here within 2 hours and have it delivered to my door. We are living our life of convenience and rather sadly ease, but why the heck would we still not be running our business that way? So eXp just offers you that opportunity. If you have your own office in certain markets, absolutely fine. Question number 5, we're going to whiz through this because it's super hot. I want to know more, but I'm comfortable where I am. How much are you going to pay me? Thank you for your question. I'm going to pay you exactly what you're worth, which in the nicest possible way is this. I personally, eXp personally, are going to pay you nothing. Why? Because this is an opportunity. Again, I've been here 2 years. I've seen it firsthand. An opportunity that I've not seen before. Not saying better opportunities won't come up, because let's be honest, it would be ignorant to think otherwise. But an opportunity of having your own name above the door, at very limited fees, having tools and technology to run your own business virtually, to have shares and stock in a company that's publicly traded on the US stock market and on the NASDAQ, and to have the ability to grow your own team anywhere in the world I'm not saying this publicly, but many of you will know who are watching this. Within 2 years, I now have a team of well over 100 agents in over 5 countries. No other company in the world would give me that opportunity. And trust me, I've been at a couple of them and I've looked at it. So how much are you going to get paid? Nothing in terms of financial gain directly now for the incentive. Now, if you are someone who is open to an opportunity, that's a different story. We can speak on a personal level. But again, eXp is not for everybody. Since I've been here as a selling agent, I have continually doubled my sales every single year, which has been great. My clients are very thankful that I now have the confidence that, you know, it's me and my brand out there, and how I market things is very different to anybody else in this very small market of Davidson, North Carolina. But it's an opportunity, and an opportunity not for everybody. So financially, how much you're going to get paid? Absolutely nothing from me. What can the opportunity afford you if we speak then in 1 year or even 2 years from where I started and where we are now? Very different story. We can speak. Again, I just want to emphasize at this point, the opportunity, any opportunity isn't for everybody. And it's really for the minority of people, to be completely honest with you. Most people are going to be comfortable. Most people are just going to continue to do what they're doing and what they're doing. I had a plan that I don't want to be doing this when I'm 75, 80 years old. And I'm not going to be doing this when I'm 75 and 80 years old. Even now, I am very fortunate to be selective. I choose 10 people and I will not work personally with more than 10 people at one moment in time, because I don't have to. That's how I want to run my business, and that was what this opportunity has afforded me. It's not for everybody. Most people are going to be doing what they're doing in the next 30, 40, 50 years, maybe looking at other opportunities, but not much is going to be changing. You're going to be making a consistent amount of money, spending a consistent amount of time at home, and this is just going to perpetually continue. So it's not for everybody. It's more so for those who don't mind taking a risk. Call them an entrepreneur, taking a risk, fall flat on their face, and then they can go back to where they started. But you've got to take the risk to not have any of those regrets we hear so often about in life. You know, I regret not doing this, not doing this, not doing this. Well, if you regret not doing it as the list flies away, then it's probably not for you. Sometimes you've got to back yourself, like I said before. The very last question, why would anybody move now in times like this, or in these times specifically, it said? My question would be, why the heck would you not? So I'm going to speak on 2 different levels here. In the UK, where 95, probably a lot more, minus purple bricks, 95% of people are employed and salaried. You always thought you had that comfort. We heard about the £25,000 basic before. Well, how comfortable is that when you have been furloughed and you actually realize, well, I actually would prefer 60% of my basic salary, because I can spend time at home. Then you come back into the office where not many people are going to be coming through, and it's just the same and the same and the same. So my question for you would be, why would you not look to change your options and what you're doing at this time? Because that consistency, that security that we all thought we had, even here in the US, isn't there anymore. You know, that comfort of coming into the office at 9 in the morning and punching the clock and leaving at 5 p.m. The office is shut down. Where's the security in that? So I think personally, I would see things the exact opposite way of saying, why would I not look at something when the world is clearly changing? And most importantly, it changed like that. Nobody knew, in my opinion, this virus was going to hit. And when it hit, you know, 3 months later, we're still talking about it. Now here in the US, we're talking about but equally important divides in terms of race and all of this stuff. You know, the world is changing. The world is catching up to where it needs to be. So when you have the opportunity to now take ownership of yourself and your own business and your own company and run with it, I think that's the only safe option. Again, if you don't back yourself, then don't. I mean, you can just stay where you are in the status quo. But if you're good at what you do, you have aspirations to do more, you back yourself, why the heck would you not look at making a change, or look at your current situation and evaluate where you are with it? It would, you know, I'm not going to speak on behalf of somebody else, but I think back 2 years ago, if I didn't make this change, yeah, it'd be a different situation. So there you go, 6 questions. Again, thank you very much for watching this. I am going to be uploading this. You will be seeing this live, recorded, I should say, on social media, unedited. I'm reading questions and I'm answering them. Any more questions? 10 a.m. Eastern time next Tuesday morning, which is 3 p.m. UK time, which I don't want to even get into with my friends and partners over in Australia, because it's early time in the morning. But any questions, barrycorvetnc@gmail.com. Any thoughts, comments, questions, issues, put them below on a public forum, or you can send me a private message. Thank you so much for the questions. We'll be here next week. Have an exceptional day.